So this July I went to Romania, out to the Carpathian Mountains in the north to run Lady Rock's 48k by UTMB. What we actually have here is 48k of distance and over 3,000 meters of climbing in the Carpathians. This is a real challenge. Because I assume it was the first year of this race being under UTMB, it was a really smooth process and there weren't really that many people there across the weekend. In fact, there were across the races about 2,300 people, which by UTMB standards is quite small, and it really felt like a very local event. Registration was almost instant. I was totally thrown by the fact there was no kit check, but getting my number was really easy. And we even got a gift bag from the local supermarket. I was hoping Penny meant something really cool, but actually it is just their local. The event village was good fun. There was quite a few different brands being represented and plenty there to buy at a suitable UTMB style price. In common with all of Romania, it was incredibly loud, but a really good atmosphere. The race started at 7 o'clock, so not too much of an early start by some of these races standards anyway. We had a cabin not very far away, so it was an easy drive there. And really, because none of the races were massively oversubscribed, it was quite a chilled out way to wait for the start of the race. The atmosphere at the start line was incredible, the best I've ever come across. And for a while, it just made the troubles and burdens that we all carry shift away and enabled me, and I think everyone else, just to concentrate on the atmosphere and on the adventure ahead.
How you feeling?
After 13 hours?
You got this?
I'm fine, great. I'm fine.
Hey!
The initial part of the run was just through the town, through a sports stadium, then up into the countryside. When planning out my race, I found the best way to do this was by splitting up the route into its climbs. The initial part of the route was about 400 metres of climbing before you hit the first major climb at around about 900 metres. There's then a second climb of just over 1,000 metres, and then you get to the dreaded wall, which is about another 400 metres or so. Unlike most of the rest of Europe, or so it seemed, Romania had quite a lot of rainfall before we had arrived, so especially the initial part of the course was really quite slippy and wet underfoot, and there were some elements that were quite challenging where we had to hang on to trees or navigate over electric fences and just be quite wary about our footing.
How is it?
Yeah, it's pretty slippy underfoot. Just steep bits already.
Is it
Hang
fun?
on to trees at some places to stop falling in. Streams and stuff.
Is it good?
Yeah.
You feeling good?
So good. Yeah, I feel alright
Right,
so
up
far.
to the right, up to the right.
right,
You got your big climb now. Bye.
Just started the first big climb, 880 metres. 5.5 miles gone. Uh, 6.24 miles in. Tough climb this one so far. 750 metres up.
So the first major climb was, of course, quite challenging, especially once we got beyond the cable car station. There it got a lot steeper, a lot wilder, a lot more rocky as well. But because it's still relatively early in the race, I felt okay, despite quite heavy breathing, quite high heart rate. I still felt I had a lot in the tank.
Thank you.
The aid stations were all excellent, brilliant atmosphere, great help from the volunteers, all really well stocked with food and hydration. Some unusual choices, beer and cooked sausages were not for me in that moment, very sadly.
Okay, 1,362 metres, just over 9 miles done, and we're going downhill.
Going downhill off the major climb was the best part of the race for me. Absolutely bombing along, overtaking loads of people, and very unrealistic in my head. I was starting to think, well, maybe I could actually do really quite well at this race. More for me, of course.
Biggest climb, over 1,000 metres. Here it starts. We go nearly 15 miles in.
The second major climb was incredibly hard. The camera, I think, does capture some of the steepness, but again, not really. I think it flattens it a little bit. And the thing is, it just went on continuously.
So steep. It's about 800 metres.
And it just never ever seemed to stop. And obviously the distance doesn't move forward very much and the elevation creeps upwards. Within this climb is my slowest ever mile in all of my running, 58 minutes.
Just over 2,000 metres of ascent cover so far. Okay, I think that's a peak up there. That was the worst climb I've ever done, and it's not over. At least this looks a little bit less steep.
Of course, the problem is if your conditioning isn't quite where you want it to be or where it needs to be, then your experience becomes compromised. Having really enjoyed the first half of the race, the second half, unfortunately, was really a exercise in torture for me, and I was struggling to see the good of what I was doing. And this is a real shame. And unfortunately, it didn't last all the time. And when I look back on this race, I look back at it with real fondness. But the last half of the race, that last 15 miles or so,
Just over
was
17 miles gone.
the absolute definition of type 2 fun.
Just over 2,200 metres of climbing. There's 1,000 left. That climb was awful. Oh, that was absolutely brutal. Oh God, what next? Why do I do these things? Maybe this is why. Suffering beautiful places. Close to the summit. That last one was a full summit, of course. Okay, that was full summit number, God knows how many. Maybe this is the top, I don't know. I really hope so. I think I'm okay for cut-offs, but my God. And descent, I think. Just over 2,500 metres elevation, 18.34 distance. Let's go. Guy at the peak said to be careful for this 2k, quite technical. In a bit of a low spot. Quite like this to be over. Just took over 20 miles. I don't know, I think it's 600-700 metres of climbing sort to come somewhere. Should have done the 33.
The support in the climb to this aid station was nothing short of phenomenal, but I was not in a good place. It was all I could do just to nod, acknowledge and say thank you to people. Unfortunately, my wife was there as well, but I was out on my feet. So the priority was to fuel, drink and try and get myself into a place where I could continue. And I must have looked a little bit of a state because someone in the aid station did ask if I wanted a doctor. I think my response was no, I just want to finish.
I'll get my poles out, don't film. See you later. Coming to 23 miles. Sadly, I don't think that's the wall. I think that's just yet another bloody slope. We are just over 23.5 miles and 2,820 metres elevation. Keep back. Bit of rain, jacket on. About 0.7 away from the aid station. I think from there it's the wall. Oh god. Okay, there's the wall. End's a bit distorted, but you get the idea.
And so the twist in the tale. The wall. 400 metres up, extremely challenging, even on legs that aren't tired.
3,072 metres gone.
Let alone after all the climbing we had done. One last push. The final mile or so down was steep, slippy and hazardous. I was amazed that the people I was running with managed to stay on their feet, as did I, but it was extremely challenging. So sadly, no chance to relax before the finish.
On the way down, just over a mile left. The wall was hideous. It just kept going. I don't know what elevation ascent that was. I think I'm on total over 3,300. So more than advertised. Okay, just need to close it out now. Not stack it. Oh, my legs are fried. Let's see.
And then suddenly it's almost over. Back into town and the arch approaches. Amazingly, I am going to finish.
Congratulations and welcome back. Well done, buddy. Okay. Are you okay? All good? Fantastic. Okay. Oh, we love fantastic. Thank you.
So what can I say about Ladies Rocks as a race? I'd say first of all, don't underestimate it. Like I did, 48k these days doesn't sound like a huge amount to me, but it's not about that. And I realised that belatedly when I was sorting out my training plan quite a long time after I signed up. 3,200 metres of ascent in that short of a distance, and the steepness of it is not to be underestimated. Thinking of it as a 48k or a 50k race is maybe a little reductive. Thinking about it as a really challenging mountain race is the way to go. This race hollowed me out physically and emotionally, and that was slightly unfortunate in some ways. Whilst I still had the glow of finishing, I then had the post-race blues. I had quite severe DOMs. Walking up and down stairs was quite challenging. It took me several days to recover and be able to walk freely without fatigue. So yes, do this race. Yes, as UTMB races go, it's affordable. Yes, it's got an incredible atmosphere, and what a lovely environment to run in.